morning. Okay, as always, I'm to the last second trying to scramble and give everybody a personal good morning, Lisa. You just popped up. You know, I always wonder, as I'm seeing the text messages kind of pop by, the little chats over to the side, like if there's any sort of a delay, like if you're wondering, you know, like if I'm like rushing, good morning, Kim, like you just popped up for me. So you may have been sitting there for a minute. I don't know, but good morning, Kim.
Well, it's weird. They're going to see it like 25 seconds after you type. So you're seeing it in real time, but they won't see it.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
Like they're typing it in 25 seconds ago for you.
Oh, so it's not real time, so it's not instantaneous. I'm so efficient.
We created a time machine.
My point is I'm so efficient. As soon as I see that you've popped up, I'm saying good morning to you. But if the world that exists outside of this, yes, I'm on to Diet Coke, my friends. I have a coffee mug over here, but it's for prop purposes today. Anyway, I'm trying to respond very efficiently. So now that I know that my dream has been shot.
No, that would be a good like Big Bang Theory like episode. Them trying to figure out where in time, like it honestly hurts my brain to think about where in time people are typing versus when you are doing that.
All right, stand there for a second. Stand there. I need you to fix your camera. Take your camera because I see your eyebrows. There you go, my love. Much better. There you go.
Now there's too much? Now there's too much?
I see the top of the cabinets, but no, you're good. Your face is right in the middle. There you go. Perfection. All right, don't touch it again. All right, good. Oh, jeez. All right, anyway. So good morning. It is a crazy Monday morning, but we are getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to the holidays. Daggone it. I cannot catch up to save my life. It's always busy, which we're grateful for. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today in What's Brewing is kind of irking my nerves a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively say that now.
Is it me?
Well, not right this second, but yeah, about 10 minutes ago, yes. Anyway, so yes, I see Lisa's got a question. Lisa, we'll get to that. Also, Lisa, I'm going to see one of the homes that you mentioned that we've been kind of texting back and forth about today, so I'm going to have to give you some feedback on that later. I'm going to see it tomorrow. Anyway, so good morning. I hope you guys are ready for a busy week, probably where you are. Weather here, honestly, it's fine. It's like I liked it when it was a little chilly, and then it kind of went back to Florida weather. Although Florida weather without the super bright sunshine, it's kind of like been overcast and just kind of the past few days. Still much better than where some people are living. I think, Jane, what did you tell me a little while ago? It's very cold where you are. Geraint, I don't think I've seen him yet this morning, but he'll tell us where the weather is in Wales. But for us here, I mean, you can see the pool back behind us, so it's not a horrible day. It's been a little warmer and humid again, but at any rate, so I have a question for you. This is a Christmas related question and it relates to my mug of the day. So here's my mug of the day. Oh, look at Eric being all fancy. So here's the thing. It is empty. Full disclosure, this mug is empty. I'm not a liar. I'm not like those actors and actresses on TV where they're picking up their coffee in their Starbucks and it's completely empty and they're like, swinging a thing of 4 Starbucks, taking them to their office friends. Anyway, this is empty. But my point is this. So how many of you, like, when did the red truck with the Christmas tree in the back become such the iconic Christmas representation? And my question to you is, yes, I know the Hallmark Channel has the truck that's in nearly every episode. And I know even my oldest son, one of his Christmas ornaments is a red like pickup truck with a tree in the back. But here's my question to you. Be honest, do you have anything Christmas or holiday decor related that references this red truck with a Christmas tree in the back? That's my question for you today. Totally not. Oh, what did you bring me? Oh, yeah. So this is cute. This is actually my son's. This is a Hallmark Christmas ornament. Let's see if there's a year on it. I don't see it. I'm sure it's not. Oh, no, that's the year of the truck. Anyway, so this is one of my son's Christmas ornaments. It's one of those Hallmark ornaments. And I mean, I don't know if the Christmas tree used to be green, but it is clearly not anymore. But anyway, but like seriously, like, this has really become a thing and I love it. It's become so out there now. I'm like, I just wonder how many of us have something in our home that references the red truck with a Christmas tree, not real estate related, but inquiring minds want to know. So anyway, so I see some other people have joined in. So good morning, Dina. Kim, I don't know if I said good morning, Lisa. Good morning to you. I don't know, two Lisas, Lisa Tyson and Lisa in Korea, or Korea. I don't know which way to pronounce it. Lisa, you're gonna have to tell me because I don't want to be wrong. Dina, Kathleen, Rob, thank you for joining. Denise again. Let's see who else. Anybody else? Rob came in. Laura, Shelsky popped in. Oh, can you do me a favor and bring me those things for Jane?
You gonna give away the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she needs to know. It may take us forever to get them to her.
Well, tell the story first about.
Oh, CJP, Celebrity Sightings. We saw you in Hamlin on Friday and we were so giddy. Sheldon and Sydney.
Wait,
hang on. You got to hang on.
Wait, yeah, hold on.
You got to hang on. Don't go anywhere.
I'm going breaking news.
Okay, go breaking news.
Amy, I'm here on the other side of the counter where I wanted to tell you that I ran into Sydney and Sheldon. Actually, I didn't run into them. Could have run into them. We were on the road. I hear beep, 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 beep. So we have you guys in wishes in a minute, but you should know that like made my day, and it was one of those things where we do this silly stuff like here on the YouTube thing. There's a dog going up my leg. Oh.
Well,
breaking news.
That didn't sound good.
We do this stuff on the YouTube.
The YouTube.
Hi. And like then people see us and they're like all excited, and it's just so funny. Happened to me. We did an open house as well. Somebody came in and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" But I will say, it's always everyone's kind of like, "Well, at least we got to see you." I'd like to see Amy, but at least we got to see you.
No,
that's true.
But okay, well that may be true, but no one ever stops me anywhere. I mean, a couple times, but not like they stop for you.
It's because you're so standoffish. No, I'm kidding. That's not true. That's not true.
That is not true.
That was a joke. No,
I know what it is. You want to know what it is?
It's my giant hair that I need to get cut?
It's that if I'm ever out anywhere, unless I'm with clients and at a builder, no, like, guys, I'm like, this is it. This is the real deal.
That's funny.
If I'm out, like I was at Walmart the other day, I was at Costco the other day, I've had to go out to a couple of places, and when I go out, if people recognize, first of all, they probably don't recognize me because I don't, I'm like in a whatever t-shirt and the hair's up and probably no makeup. But yeah, they're probably like, "Oh, God bless her heart. I didn't realize she was such a troll." Like, it's true. Such great filters on that YouTube.
You're always lovely.
Oh, shush. Anyway.
So, shout out, Cindy and Sheldon. It was really nice to see you. How you tell when some people are really nice? You can just tell they're really nice. So, in their minivan as they drove by, and then that was just cool. That was really nice. So, thank you. You kind of made my day. Now,
yes.
Tell them about as I go away. So we met Jane and her lovely family.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
we're like, what great things must you want from America as you come over here from Newcastle? So tell them what, of all the things you can get in America, what they wanted, and then I'll come around and bring you that. Okay. Reporting from the other side of the counter,
Eric Kidwell.
I'm Eric Kidwell.
Okay.
You stepped in my line.
Oh, sorry.
Reporting from the other side of the counter, I'm Eric Kidwell.
Okay. So when Jane and her sweet family, when they were here in the United States and they were at Disney, we actually met them and had some coffee and some pastries with them over at the French Cafe in Hamlin. And when we were talking about things like that, we're like, well, what is it that you want that like that you can't get in the UK that you kind of want? Yeah, I know. We're like thinking something like, great, this is what she wants, and so this will be shipped to you, my love. So we have coffee made French vanilla, powdered coffee creamer, and 5 pounds of Twizzlers. So Jane, this is to you. It's probably going to cost me 5 times the amount to ship it to you based on the weight of this than it would be, but some things just Amazon isn't going to bring you, although they brought them to me. Anyway, so Jane, those are for you. And Sydney, we have all of your gifts too in the mail. All right. So anyway, by the way, I want to say a quick hello and a welcome to Leanne. So Leanne says, "Hi, Amy and Eric. Great to catch you live. My husband and I have been watching your channel for a few years now. We plan to move from New Hampshire to Orlando next summer. Yay! That is so exciting, and they'll reach out to us. And that is so exciting. And you know what? The truth is, next summer, it is never too early, in my opinion, to start the conversations. It doesn't mean you have to, like everybody can get through the holiday season, but it's I have a client right now. He's not looking to move until later next year, but we've got our game plan. We've had a couple of long conversations on the phone. We kind of have an idea of what steps he needs to do to get himself ready and prepped. And then I have on my calendar to reach out the first week in February to do another, kind of check in and see if that's still our track that we need to adhere to. So it's never too early for us to start our friendship and start the journey. So anyway, Jane says, oh my gosh, crying my eyes out. Like legit, it's for you. It's for you. I have to get this to you. Well, here's the other true story. Eric, hand me that one over there. That one. So this is the other true story, Jane. This is what I actually got for you until Eric reminded me that it wasn't this one. So I got you the Costco version of the powder. And then he was like, yeah, but she liked the French vanilla. And I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, so I don't know. This is going to go to somewhere, I guess. Anyway, but yes, Jane, that's for you, babe. We'll get it to you as soon as we can. Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and get to what's brewing, because as always, I'll just sit here and just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Okay, so our What's Brewing topics for today. By the way, has everyone noticed that my very sweet and talented husband has changed the background? Remember last week I was like, it's still too fall, like we need Christmas background. So, God. I need a facelift for the amount of times that I go, oh, that's nice.
For holiday cheer. Brought to you by me.
All right. Great. Okay, so what's brewing topics for today? Builder holidays, Costco, and land contracts. Okay, so good topics for today. I'm going to pull this back over here. So builder holidays. You didn't do a picture of my calendar, right?
No.
Okay, so this is what Eric and I were talking about the other day. So we have, I don't know, I was looking at them last night. 6 closings between now and Christmas, or the day, well, I guess till the end of the year, because a couple of them are right after Christmas. So that's just crazy cuckoo. Now, all of them, well, I don't know if they're all, most all of them are new construction. So here's the thing. If you are building, and if your timeline for your building completion, construction completion, is anywhere near around the end of the year, 99 times out of 100, that builder is going to push to get that home ready and closed. Now, when I say pushed, don't misinterpret that for being rushed, okay? In some cases, yeah, I'm going to be honest, the builders rushed through it and you shouldn't have closed by the end of the year. But when I mean push, I just mean that the builders are going, okay, guys, we're ramping up these trades. We're going to get them in there a little bit faster. We're going to piggyback off of each other. And they're going to do everything they can to push to get that home prepped and ready for you. Now, I've got clients living out of state, multiple sets of clients actually, living out of state. Here we are, a couple weeks before the holidays. Travel is expensive. They aren't given a definitive closing date until very quickly before closing. And I had clients just get their information that they're doing their most important, what we call the new homeowner orientation with the builder. Guess when? December 26th. So how are they supposed to be here by 10 o'clock in the morning, or 9 o'clock, I think that one is, for a new homeowner orientation when they live states and states away? Are they just not supposed to enjoy Christmas? And the builder's like, yeah, but when we're ready to close on the home, we're ready to close on the home. And they don't always consider you. And I say that, and it ticks me off. It's one of my biggest frustrations with the builders. Personally, I feel like every builder, and they're going to laugh at me like, Amy, you don't know anything. I think as a customer service thing, excuse me, it would be better for them to say no closings after the 20th of December at all. No closings. If your home is not ready by December 20th, then it's going to be a January closing. I know. Hush up, all of you.
This idea brought to you by Dreamland.
I know, it is Dreamland.
Hey,
absolutely.
No, so
yeah.
Here, I have 2 important points to make.
Okay, make them.
You would be amazed that I have 2. number one, part of the reason why you need to have to have a real estate agent working on your side is because Amy's thinking about this stuff. It's on December 4th now, right? Sometimes they notify you and then you're like, well, what do I do, right? So in one of these cases, we're going to do this for them.
Yeah.
We're going to go do the walk for them, video, the whole thing, so they don't have to so they can have Christmas at their house. The other point I wanted to make was Christmas is on a Monday this year. I think this year in particular is bad because that means
coffee time on Christmas.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll put up a Yule log or something. No. But what happened then is that means that there's only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before the end of the year. So usually you get a few extra days in there for them to close. And they're all publicly traded companies, and they all want to get these homes closed because they want them on their books by the end of the year or the end of the quarter or both. So that's what it is. So we're happy to, and by the way, exciting for everyone to get their houses. But yeah, kind of a hassle.
Yeah. I just saw Kim Sokolsky's question. That's a fantastic question, Kim. I'm going to get to that in a minute. That's a really good one. So let's make sure when we do these questions that we pull Kim's up. So really what I'm trying to say is that the builders, and by the way, this is true for any time of the year. And I love the builders. I feel like I'm a very good partner with the builders. I do not work for them. I don't represent them, but I feel like I work well with the builders in managing my client's expectations while always being an advocate for my client and making sure that the builder does the right thing. But it is those good relationships that kind of helps us nudge that builder a little bit. They do not care about what I'm saying right now, I guarantee it. But it is really the most inconsiderate thing ever to not consider the fact that, there is, there's a time of year when, people don't always live 2 minutes away from the house that they're building. And I understand, they don't have time, care, or concern to consider where everybody lives and how their travel is going to be. I have another client with health issues and mobility challenges. And in both of those cases, as Eric said, it is not ideal, by the way. What I'm doing for them is not an ideal situation. It is always best that the buyer be present at the new homeowner orientation, which is basically, it is the walkthrough that is about 1 week before, about 1 week before closing. And that walkthrough is very important because that walkthrough is not just a walkthrough to look for touch-ups and things that need to be done, but it really is the builder's time to acclimate you to your home, to share, tell you how this is how this works. This is where your emergency water shutoff valve. Here's your irrigation system, irrigation lines. This is the control panel for that. Blah 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 blah. All of that information is very important, and it can be overwhelming. But that walkthrough is important. So in both of those cases, I have worked it out with the builder. Thankfully, the builders have been accommodating, and they aren't always. But sometimes we get a little good graces in there. And in both of those cases, they're going to let me go do the new homeowner orientation, but only the aesthetic walkthrough part of it. And then when my clients do get to come in town for the final walkthrough and for closing, the builder is going to take a few extra minutes with them and then do the orientation part of it for the mechanical aspects of the home. Again, not ideal, but it's at least a solution to try to make everybody happy and to keep them closing on time. So anyway, so holidays, again, when the builders finally ask for my opinion, oh boy, I will let them know. Anyways, let's move on to our second brewing topic is Costco. Oh boy. So the Costco in Claremont opened the middle of November. So it's been open for a few weeks now. My daughter and son-in-law had already gone out there. I already have a membership. There's a BJ's Wholesale Club also in Claremont that we've had a membership to since we moved here. But we were waiting for the Costco, and so I got a membership there, and it was our first time going. Did we go there yesterday?
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know where we are. I don't know what day it is. Are we sure it's Monday? Anyway, so Elizabeth and I actually went yesterday, and it was one of those things where we were excited to be there because there's some things I was hoping to find and to get, also to explore, a new store to shop in. But it can be to the point where it was so overwhelming with so many people that you're to the point where you either say forget it and you don't pick up something that you wanted, or you grab something just because you have the opportunity, you grab it and you go. And then you're like, why did I buy like 5,000 of those? Anyway. So, so Costco. So this is
if you're wondering which one Amy is, it's that one.
What?
The one where you buy more things.
Shusharoonie. That's not true. So anyway, so this, I know, so don't laugh at me. I know that most people, when they go to Costco, they're going to focus on, the
giant vats of coffee creamer.
The wine, the massive wine assortment in the display, or the fantastic cheeses, or all of that. No, the Kidwell crew, we're going with the Squishmallows. I saw those and we laughed so hard. And because, by the way, I'm just telling you, if you do not have a Squishmallow, you are missing out, my friends. I'm like, true story. I've got multiple Squishmallows on my bed right now. They have little ones, which are great because they kind of nestle right under your neck. And then Elizabeth got one of the bigger ones, $11.99. Those things are normally $20, $11.99 there at Costco. So if you're on a Squishmallow hunt for friends, family, oh my gosh. Oh, all right. So these are not on my bed. These are from my son's room. Okay. Yes. So here's one of them. How do I go?
Here,
Again,
we'll go there.
I'll never be. Okay. There you go. So this is one of them. This is like a that is basically serves like a husband pillow. The big ones that you sit in your back.
Exactly. Husband substitute. That's what we're all looking for.
Husband substitute. Anyway, this is the medium size.
I ain't seen Amy since 1998. From 2006.
All right, shush up. Anyway, but these are, I'm not kidding, these are the best things. They're so soft and they're so smushy and they're just the best things. So all I'm saying is at Costco, it is not a bad thing. Ooh, wait, wrong one. I can't. Okay, I hit the wrong button. The Costco button. But look at that. That's a tremendous amount of Squishmallow. So again, if you need some.
Get that over there. And then call up Denise's comment. Denise
says, go in the middle of the week in the evening. It was a dream. Really? Okay, well.
And, by the way, if you see Arifa is there. Arifa, our client and friend, Arifa is there. She said she closed December 29th last year. Yes, we know.
Yes.
Yes.
So
she's coming up on anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Oh, that's right. So Arifa, I'm sure you already did, but I'm just thinking Arifa. Yeah. Did you might want to think about that 1 year inspection? We'll talk about that. Text me later after this and let me make sure you don't miss anything coming up on that 1 year. Cool.
Mrs. Florida Man has a good comment too.
Mrs. Florida Man. We went to Costco last week, 4 things on our list, spent over $300, LOL. Well, I can top you, my sweet friend, because I had 0 things officially on my list and I spent over $600.
Oh, bother.
Seriously, I didn't really go with anything in mind. I mean, I did need to go and get some wine, like as gifts, because we don't really drink. But they had a cranberry Moscato. I bought 3 bottles of that. Because that was like cranberry Moscato. Like that sounds really good, right? And I like Moscato because it's sweet, so it's not really winey. It's just more like dessert winey, like sweetness. Anyway, all right, back to real estate stuff. So anyway, Costco is open. It is a great changer, game changer for the people that live in and around that area. Everyone likes those big box stores. There you go. Thank you, dear. That's the tropical one. Is that the cranberry? Cranberry. Okay, it is. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, real estate wise, those types of things make a difference to where you live. It makes a difference to, in some ways, your quality of life. And it definitely can change, for better or for worse, sometimes the property value, depending on what has popped up near you. And like I said, sometimes that can be a huge boost in your property value, knowing that certain shopping and conveniences are nearby. However, I had a client once who had to very quickly sell a condo that they had, because right behind their condo was a shopping center that was being built, and they were going to then be looking at literally the dumpsters and the stinkness behind a little mini strip of shops. So you do have to be aware of things like that. But anyway, so Costco, thumbs up. I still think I'm going to keep that BJ's membership too, though. I don't know. I don't know which one I like better. So you tell me if you like one better than the other. And then meanwhile, let's hit that third topic, which is land contracts. Okay, so I have another land contract coming up. And this one, guys, this one is a perfect example of the opportunity to buy now and build later. So many times I get questions about people who want to move here from out of state, from out of town, from out of the country, and they just want to like that. Can I just buy my land now so that I know where I'm going to live and then, build my home later? They ask that question a lot for some of these communities that we actually have, the actual residential developments where the builders are currently. They're like, well, can I just buy a lot and then I'll build on it later? And the answer to that is always no. Well, I don't say always, 99.9% of the time is no. But for these production builders, the answer is absolutely going to be no. You buy the house, the land, you get going right away. But when you buy vacant land, you sometimes have that opportunity to build on it at whatever time you want. In this particular new listing that I have, I'm going to talk about the listing I have here in the off of Seidel Road here in Horizon West in a second. But the second piece of land is actually from a client who was referred by another client, and it was a piece of land. It was a plat, like you could build a house on it. And it was basically, she inherited this property a long time ago. She's never seen the property. They don't live here. They're not going to do anything with the property. And basically they're just trying to get rid of some of these things. I did that for a friend of mine that it was in high school years ago. Her father had some vacant land in the Everglades, and he was kind of, wrapping up his estates. And she's like, can we just get rid of that? How do we do that? And so we sold that one. Anyway, but so here's a perfect opportunity. It's just shy of a quarter acre. It's 0.24 acres, and it's all usable. So whereas sometimes you have to do like a feasibility study if you're buying extreme like acreage, you may or may not have the ability to build or utilize all of that land. You may have some sections that have some encumbrances or some different distinctions, and maybe there's a little section of conservation or preservation that might be attached or tucked to a section of it. But at any rate, this is 0.24 acres in an area where there is a lot of land. It is, and I hope I pronounce it right. Is it Dunellen? Dunellen. Dunellen, which is a little bit further out, it's past the villages. It's quite a ways away from here, but when you look at it, it looks like it's a great spot because it's close to it's like clear water, like river, not clear water, but Rainbow Springs. There it is, Rainbow Springs. So beautiful area. If you want to be kind of tucked away outside of the hustle and bustle that Orlando has to offer, but still being in a commutable distance, if you wanted to, come to Disney, would be probably, you could do it in a day trip. But anyway, it's a good thought. It's a good spot. So land, let's talk about land though. If you are buying land, there's a couple things you need to know. Are there utilities there already? Is the infrastructure there? Is there a paved road in front of your particular parcel of land? Is the sewer connected? Is there sewer? Is it septic? Is there going to have to be, if it's vacant land or raw land and it's a septic, then you're going to have to add the septic when you purchase the land. The electrical, is all of that already in place along the street, and so you just tap into it. Same thing with the water. Whether or not you're on a public sewer, you still need to have water. So those are some questions that you don't always think about. Another really important one is, obviously, if you're going to build a home, if that particular parcel of land has, a gazillion trees, it's gorgeous, but obviously you're not going to be able to have a gazillion trees. So now you also have to pay to remove the trees and to prep that land. So all of that, by the way, don't feel overwhelmed. All of that is taken care of, by the builder or whomever it is that you contract to build that home whenever you decide to do it. It's just some other elements that you may want to think about when it comes to purchasing raw land like that. So again, and then on another note, we have the other one. I'm going to take that picture up real quick. This is the other parcel of land. It is 10 acres. 2.73 of it is buildable. And guys, we have an offer on this. And this is going to lead me, after we finish this topic, should I go into the word of the day after this? Okay, so we have this particular parcel of land. It went active. We had, honestly, more interest in it than I thought we would right away. Partly because I'm guessing it's the Seidel Village, which is, of all of the Horizon West villages, that is the one that has increased in value the fastest and the most. And now that the parcels beside this have been sold and the Mark is there, which is a shopping area, the land has increased in value to some extent. So we got some interest right away. But on, on that note, I'm going to go to the word of the day. Are you ready? Here's the word of the day because it ties into this.
Oh, now come on, Amy, tell me what's the word.
Such a good song.
Okay, so the word of the day is focus. And I could give you a lot of words for what I'm trying to think of right now.
Some of which start with F. Today's word of the day brought to you by the letter F.
No.
Amy would never.
No. No, but so here's the thing. If you are actively trying to sell your home, your property, your land, your car, your RV, your boat, if you are trying to sell something that has significant value and is probably not the easiest thing to sell necessarily, or at least it's a bit more involved than, something, minuscule, you need to be responsive. I have had an offer in hand. It was a lower offer. I talked them up. I already have the offer to where it is above where I thought it was going to be, under what we were asking, but I kind of expected that, but it is above where, we thought we might get it. We are ready to sell this property, and I cannot get the sellers to respond. And I don't mean, I mean respond at all. I mean, it's. I'm not going to go into too much detail. There's reasons why neither party are responding, but at the same time, we're going to lose a buyer simply because of the lack of focus and response and priorities being set for actually selling the property that you need to sell.
We had a good thing though, like to help people that are watching this. I recorded you talking to them. About like how to do this. So if you hit the one button on there, it'll show exactly. Well, it's a recreation of Amy trying to talk to this client.
Gotcha.
Help me, Rod. Help me. Help you. Help me. Help you. Help me. Help you.
I swear that's exactly what I feel like. That's hysterical. Yes, please help me help you. And how, same thing. If you're not moving to Florida and you're dealing with real estate stuff in your own little neck of the woods, and you need to be helpful to your agent and things like that. Quick responses if there is a showing request. As soon as that comes in and we send you a message, please know that, for at least that period of time until we get that home closed, that realtor needs to be one that you're like, oh, that's the realtor, and then immediately excuse yourself and try to respond. Obviously, we understand that, you can't always do that, but anyway, this is exactly how I'm feeling. Like, guys, I'm sweating it because we need signatures, and I've actually, we'll talk about it a little bit more. I don't want to get too much into their personal situation, but I've had to take additional steps to try to get someone from the outside to assist.
Relationship status, it's complicated.
It's complicated. Yes. So by the way, for those of you that think your particular situation is complicated, we get that. Not everybody has that picturesque family in front of the Christmas tree.
I'd like to update that. Nobody does.
No.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. But there's, sometimes relationships are a little bit more difficult. Sometimes there are personal relationships and reasons within that personal relationship why people need to sell a property. Totally get it. We deal with this all the time. But there's still a responsibility there to assist the person that you've enlisted to do something for you. So that was my little vent session. Yes. Thank you for that. All right, now, I'm going to go to some questions because, let me pull up. We have some good ones. Good ones today. Okay, so Lisa says, can we talk a little bit about whether or not there are any regulations in play to keep HOA fees in check? I've been hearing how some are raising so much that the owners are forced to sell. So the truth is that really should not be happening. And there's two different ways to think about this. So in a new construction community, even while the amenities are being built and completed, the HOA fees essentially, and this is all to my understanding, right, from what I have been told and experienced with these builders, is that the HOA fees are basically determined with a completed community. So even though you may be the first person in the community, you're not going to be the one paying for all of the amenities. Of course not. If that home is going to have 300 home sites, then they're going to take the expected maintenance fees and schedules associated with whatever amenities or common area maintenance that's going to be required, whether it's gated or not, things like that. That number is going to be then divided among basically a completed sold out community. Do they have to change sometimes? Yes, but I've also seen them go down, guys. I haven't really ever seen them go up in an extreme amount unless it was something where it was no longer a builder. The builder's gone, right? This is now a community. The community is now well established. And maybe the funds were not being managed the way they needed to be managed once it was turned over to the actual homeowners. Because keep in mind, for a while it's the builder, and then once the community is owned by the residents, then it's their deal, right? It's their governing power that you elect through your board, through the HOA, and how they are budgeting. And sometimes they're like, hey, you know what, we can make our community gated, let's do that. Well, then yes, your HOA fees are going to increase. But I have also known them to go down, believe it or not. But I don't know that they've ever gone up, at least that I'm aware of, for any of my clients in my areas, where they have gone up to such an extreme amount that people have been forced to move. But I would say, anywhere from a few dollars up to $100 it could be potentially normal, but beyond that, I don't really see it.
Well, and you mentioned this kind of, but once the community's done, the HOA becomes the HOA. It's an association of homeowners. So you are the HOA.
Yeah.
You get to vote. But what really usually happens is that, there are some people that really want to be involved and some people that just don't. Well, the people that want to be involved are the ones that make the decisions. And a lot of times, would you agree, it's if there's townhomes, and it's an older community, and townhomes generally pay a higher HOA, correct?
Correct.
Because they're responsible for the exterior maintenance and the roof and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're supposed to be contributing, to replace the roof, in 20 years or whatever. And so sometimes, though, they don't budget well, and then they go, oh, well, now we have a problem. So I've seen it happen, but never to the point where it'd be hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but I'm sure it can happen.
Yeah. And there are capital contribution fees that most of these communities require, and that is probably something we should do as a word of the day. So Allie, take note of that, or maybe do an Allie knows nothing on that. Capital contribution fee, what is that? So usually when you move into a community or when you're closing on a home, and this is even if it's resale, by the way, in most communities, most definitely if it's new construction, there is a homeowner capital contribution fee, which is a one-time fee. It's basically like your kind of, I say it's like an initiation fee. It's not really what it is, but it's kind of like the fee to transfer you into the community, into the HOA, and some of those get put away for reserves.
It's shipping and handling.
Shipping and handling, there you go. But, a lot of the pools, they have to have specific reserve funds to resurface the pool. I know in our own community, I hear a lot on the Facebook page that a lot of the equipment in the gym and the fitness center are not working. I know that there was an issue with, I think, the kids' splash pad. So there's unexpected things that happen. So you really do rely on your HOA or your homeowners association to do the job that they have been elected to do. So that's kind of, it's kind of important to make sure that you are aware of what's going on in your HOA. And even
we could have had a Netflix 4-part documentary series about our HOA. Ooh. And we replaced the president and the board, and the board resigned. It was a whole thing. Yeah. And now we have a very good,
we have a great,
wonderful HOA president,
we do, and
things are going good. But still problems, and still people.
Well,
complaining about things because that's the nature of the beast.
And can I do one other thing? Sure. Can I say one other thing while I'm venting? No.
Is it a bad word?
No. Oh. No, here's the thing. First of all, if you are in a community or buying into a community, do yourself a favor and use the Facebook community page as your late night laugh fest. And do not invest so much of your emotional energy in believing that everything that they are saying is true. Remember, you could literally have two people living side by side, building the same exact floor plan with the same builders, same sales agent, same trades, and have two completely different experiences. So you just have to go into that and use some common sense and understand that, it's not always, what somebody else experiences is not necessarily what you experience. And on that note, I'm going to go to this next question because it's a good one.
Well, I was going to do this.
Oh, sorry, it's going to break.
Amy, I'm here on the other side of the counter to report some breaking HOA news. We have received an HOA violation. We did. Left the trash cans out a day too long, and so we got a violation. And what that means is
get your trash cans in.
We moved them in, and now everything's clear. But just talk real quick about when you're closing that HOA estoppel that they have to check there's no things.
Yeah, actually, that's really good. So, and then I do need to come back to Kim's question because it ties into this. Kim, I haven't forgotten you. Yeah. So when you are purchasing a home, now we're going to talk resale, okay? So if you're purchasing a resale home, part of what that magical title company does, and guys, we need to give them lots of love because they do a lot of work behind the scenes that you have no idea of what they're doing. But and it's all for you. It's all to make sure that this transaction goes smoothly. But in a resale situation, the title company is doing they'll do the order the HOA estoppel, and they're basically any liens, anything that is on your home. So they're just basically making sure that you've paid all of your utilities. And remember, the HOA can put a lien on your home if you haven't paid your HOA fees. But usually if there's a violation or something that still needs to be remedied, that is going to show up on the HOA estoppel. And I actually have a client right now. They've got a condo and there's an issue in the HOA with the front door or something. And so that needs to be discussed and remedied so that, in fairness, so that the buyers know that that liability, that violation is not going to transfer over to them, that has to be remedied in some way, shape, or form. Anyway, so the point is, if you have an HOA, some people hate them. I happen to like them. Do I feel like sometimes they're a little bit too much in your business? Yeah. Do I think some of their things are ridiculous? Yeah. But would I rather have someone remind me that I left my trash cans out a day too late, but also be the person that won't let my neighbor dump mattresses and bags of trash and junk and just leave it on the curb and never to be picked up, which affects my property value, or never cut their grass, which affects my property value? Of course. So, again, we have to take everything, look at it from multiple angles so that you can make that decision for yourself. Anyway, so going on to Kim's question, because this is really important when I was talking about the two experiences, they're never going to be the same. So Kim's question, is it normal to have multiple new construction managers when you are building a home, or is it something to be concerned about? Oh my gosh, Kim, this is fabulous. I am definitely going to add this to the list of questions for like little other things to get this message out there. Kim, that is a fantastic question. And the answer is, yes, it's normal. Is it preferable? No. I mean, I think common sense, even a builder would tell you, like if you're building with, ABC Builders is not going to want you to have 3, 4, 5 different construction managers during the 9-10 month build process of your home. They're not going to want that either. But the reality is it definitely happens. I see it happen all the time. Very rarely do you start out with the same person that you finish with. Sometimes that happens when communities are closing out. My own builder, our own experience for my daughter's home that we were building, we had one builder that started out the process, and then literally right before we were supposed to close, they transferred him to another community. And so that meant we were kind of left to do a quick get out of here and get our house closed, which was not great. And another person essentially took over, but they didn't really take over. So that was at the tail end of my process. But our clients, which built 2 doors down from my daughter's home, they have actually had, multiple project managers or builders on their particular home. So the question is it concerning? No, it's not concerning. I don't think that you should be scared. I think that really all we need to do in those situations is say, hey, new builder, we're so happy to have you on board. We're excited you're going to continue the journey of building our beautiful home. However, would we be able to just make sure that everybody is on track? And these walkthroughs in these situations, I think, are even more important. So if you were building a home and you added specific things that may have been a little off of the norm, maybe you did a little extra low voltage, or you did this or you did that, those types of situations are super important because you don't want that to get missed from builder to builder. The bottom line is it should be in the paperwork, and so it shouldn't be a concern. The builder is building what's on the papers, what's on the prints and the blueprints and the plans. But sometimes I have definitely had clients go, well, the builder told me he would do whatever. Our builder, the guy who built my daughter's home, he said as a courtesy, he was going to have them cut the grass a few more times after we closed. I knew he wasn't going to do it, and he didn't do it. I knew he wasn't going to do it. But the point is, that's why the builders always say everything has to be in writing. So don't get mad when they want to have everything in writing. And it's for that reason, because the builder says they'll do something nice for you outside of this spectrum of what they should do, and then they don't do it. But so in your case, Kim, if we're getting multiple builders, it's really just about communication, understanding that it's hard for them to come in and take over somebody else's house. That's kind of like finishing somebody else's art project. Even though you may have the instructions, it just feels a little weird. So we're gonna, do unto others, right? So let's reach out and say, hey, if there's anything you need from us, if you have any questions, please know we're right here. We would love to meet with you if you need us to talk about the house at all. Otherwise, I say put your trust in the builder, but be very attentive during the walkthroughs. So that's my question on that one, or my answer on that one. And then on that note, Raymond says, can you say no to the walkthrough or close? We will be available the following week. You're cute. Does this mean I can't take the vacation in May because my home might be ready? So yeah, you know what? If it's in May, that's one thing. Like we were talking about earlier in December, like in one of those cases when I asked the builder if they would push back the new new homeowner orientation a few hours so that I could physically be at both of them for my clients, that builder said no. He's like, nope, it's got to stay at that time. We need to get it confirmed. Well, I can't be in two places at once, and so that creates a problem for me. I'm just the realtor though, and I know I'm important to you, but the builder could care less. You're the important one. So if they schedule a walkthrough and you're like, hey, look, the main thing is communication. If you know that you're not going to be here the last week in May, then that needs to be completely communicated to them the whole time and say, look, if you're pushing to get this thing closed in May, you need to understand I'm not going to be here. So we either need to close before or we need to close after. And if you've communicated that with them way in advance, then hopefully they will work around that and be accommodating. But hopefully. But if they give you a date and they're just hearing about it now, the contract actually says that you will close when the builder is ready to close.
And I'll just point out too, May is a different case because that's the end of a quarter.
Yes.
It's Mattamy Homes' end of fiscal year, right? So depending on where you're buying, what you're doing, if you said, well, maybe what about April? Well, April, they're probably more willing to push into May. May, they're probably not going to be willing to push into June because that's the end of a quarter and they want to have that house sale on their books. So there's a lot that goes into that. Yeah.
And another quick question. John says, will the CDD help keep your HOAs in check? I don't think there's they're just two completely different things. It's a good question, but no, because there's a lot of communities that don't have CDDs. In fact, most communities don't have CDDs, but that's something that's completely different. So it's a good question, but they don't really pay any attention to each other. Jim's question. Where's the snow? My first year ever not having to shovel. I love it. Jim, I'm so glad. Jim, I know I told you this. I think I texted you this the other day. But I looked at your Facebook posts again. How much do I love that you guys, would you have breakfast at the Polynesian the other day? Guys, this is life. This is the quality of life that you can have when you make the move to be here. They have a beautiful home out in Claremont that they closed on. And by the way, I've already seen all of the things you've already done to the home. Amazing. But, the fact that they're like bright and early, they're out at the Polynesian having breakfast and then touring Christmas decorations at the different Disney resorts or the parks. I cannot tell you how happy that makes my heart, because that keeps us going. We're so happy that we had this tiny little part in your life's journey that gets you to the place where you can do this. And what a fantastic quality of life. I love it. So anyway, wait, Dina says, I saw them making snow. I thought you said shoveling snow. Making snow in downtown Winter Garden the other day. By the way, we're actually heading to downtown Winter Garden this afternoon. We actually have an appointment down there. But yes, we have an appointment down there, but they have decorated for the holidays. So we're going to try to take a few pictures.
And the parade was Saturday, so they had some floats that were making snows out of the back of the truck.
So it's just very exciting. It's a really, really, really nice spot to go, those little downtown areas. So go down on Plant Street and enjoy that. Anyway, so let's move on to some of our other topics. So we got all of our brewing topics, right? Should we do the wishes?
Okay, yeah.
Let's do wishes. Okay, so Cindy, you keep wanting to say Sydney too,
yes.
don't you? Cindy and Sheldon. So I don't even know if you're still here, but you were on our wishes.
That was like our wish come true, because that was just nice.
That was you're very sweet. I didn't get to see them, but like I said though, no one ever it's totally okay. But I don't ever.
They're intimidated by your standoffishness. No, I'm kidding.
First of all, stop that.
I
am not standoffish at all.
That was my point.
I am an introvert, and for those of you that know me and really know me, you know this is true about me. If I do go out and I'm not out for real estate, I kind of keep my head low, and I kind of just, because
right. So it's your fault, not theirs.
I understand that. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just saying, everybody knows Eric. Anyway, and then Daniel and Marisol. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. They did their new homeowner orientation last week. We had their final walkthrough, and then closing coming up this week. So super excited for them. Beautiful home with Landsea Homes out in Groveland. Beautiful, beautiful home. Carol, working with Landsea Homes, has been an absolute godsend. I love it when we have such good, attentive, capable, just nice, kind builder site agents as our partner, even though they're working for the builder. Between Carol and myself and the buyers and the builder, it is such a great, great thing. So Carol, thank you for helping with Daniel and Marisol. Beautiful home. They're super excited. And oh my gosh, the view from their backyard, it is an unexpected, beautiful thing. There's some water kind of back behind some trees, and their view is better than we even expected. So congratulations to them. Lots more of these coming up over the next few weeks for sure. All right, so Eric, was there something else you were looking?
Is that all? Yeah, I thought you had a couple other questions, but maybe not.
Do I? Let me see. Double check, guys, if you have a question in here. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the, what do I want to do next? I'm going to talk about let me do alleys. Do alleys?
Yeah.
Do alleys.
What exactly does low inventory mean, and how does that affect me if I'm looking to buy or sell a house?
Okay, so low inventory. Okay, so just think about this like there is, how can I want to relate this? Cabbage Patch dolls. Do you remember back, was it the 80s? When was it that the Cabbage Patch dolls were the go-to item? Okay, so Eric's not even paying attention. So low inventory, it means exactly that. There's just not that many of them. So when we talk about it in real estate, if there's not that many houses on the market, that can tend to drive up the price because it's supply and demand. There's more demand than there is supply. And so if there's one house out there and there's 50 people that need a house, it's going to be quite competitive. And in those situations, which is where we were 2 years ago, where people were paying above appraised value, they were bridging appraisal gaps, they were doing those escalatory addendums, things like that, because they needed that one house that was available on the market, right? People were willing to pay crazy cuckoo money for the Cabbage Patch doll when somebody was able to grab one from Toys R Us and then resell it again on eBay. People were paying cuckoo crazy money for those things. So it's kind of the same thing. So how it affects you as a buyer It means that you have to come in competitive. And that means with fewer contingencies or no contingencies. And you have to understand that in a low inventory situation, you may not be the only offer. There may be multiple offers. Yours really does need to come in strong. So take the advice of your agent and let your realtor guide you. If they say, hey, look, I know you want to get a good deal, but if you don't come in at least asking with an escalatory up to here, we're not going to get the home. And we don't always say that, guys. We say what we need to do to get you into the home that you want. So low inventory means you're going to need to be more competitive with your offer. As a seller in a low inventory situation, you get to have a little bit more discretion because you are probably going to have, more offers. Now, keep in mind, that is not always true. Right now, we have low inventory, but it's also low foot traffic time of year. So you still have to kind of, there's all these outside influences, I can speak, that are going to affect it. But generally speaking, low inventory, that means that buyers are going to have to be competitive. Low inventory as a seller means that you're probably going to have, more opportunity to sell your home faster because you're the only one out there. Okay? Eric, you're over there laughing. He's doing something, so I don't know what he's doing. Cindy.
I told Sydney, I typed in the chat that we have trouble saying Cindy because
of Sydney.
Of Sydney.
Sydney and Valencia are on our brains.
Yes, but Cindy and Sheldon are still here. They said they're still here. So
oh, excellent.
And then I asked they said their daughter was in the car too, but I don't know her name, so I wanted to give her a shout out.
Yeah, give us your daughter's name. I can say, okay, good. Yes, my daughter was also, you just took that off of the thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I put it up there. Just stop touching my buttons. My daughter was also in the car and she was speechless, LOL. So give us your daughter's name and we will say hello to her.
That's what she said.
Oh, jeez, good Lord. Anyway, okay, so again, double check questions. Meanwhile, I'm going to go to what I'm watching because I want to talk about this. That's right. I'm watching $1 Million Decorators. I'm only on the second episode. I took the dogs up. Oh, my legs. I took the dog. I'm old. Just sitting here. My legs hurt. Yesterday morning, I took the dogs upstairs. Daisy was a little bit cuckoo crazy. Should I put Daisy's picture up? No. Anyway, so I took Daisy. She was being a little rambunctious, I guess we should say, yesterday morning, and I was trying to let Eric sleep. So I took the dogs all up to the media room, and I was like, well, let me find something else to watch. And so I put this on, and actually it's really interesting. I mean, I don't have $1 million budget, and the amount of money that people are spending on a rug is insane, but it's all relative, right? If you've got millions and millions and millions of dollars, then to you, spending $20,000 on a rug may seem like it's $200 for the rest of us, but still. Anyway, so it's fun and it's real estate related. So, and a very interesting situation on the episode that I just watched is that one of them, the designer has been working on this lady's house for a long time. So like she's done multiple projects in the home, and now they have a guest house that's in the back. And so she just got the designer to come back out and say, okay, now we're ready to do, the guest house. We want it to look, basically we want it to be just as, bougie as the main house. So no, it's beautiful. And it really, I don't find it pretentious. I mean, I have to laugh a little bit about what they're spending on some of this stuff, but I don't, it's cool. Anyway, so she starts to design and get ready for this guest house that's in the back. And then she calls the agent over a couple days later, weeks, I don't know, because you can't tell how long it is. Anyway, now they're going to get a divorce, and the realtor advised her to make it more bland, more neutral. And so where I left off is that they're having a conversation about, well, the designer's like, I'm not putting my name on something that's bland and boring because that's what the realtor wants, because that's what's going to help sell the house better. So that's where I left off. So I have to find out what happens to that house in the back. But anyway, so if you are interested in, that kind of stuff, that seems to be a fun one. I think it's only like maybe 6 or 7 or 8 episodes. I don't know. It's nothing major. So it's a good one to have on while you're wrapping presents. How about that? Is that good? All right. So Melody, I just wanted to, I just see a new name. Whenever I see a new name pop up, I want to make sure I say hello. Melody Froman, darn it, I missed the live. Work got in the way, processing mortgages for those brave souls buying homes in Kentucky.
Jane's leaving. Say bye to
Jane's leaving. Okay, bye, Jane. I promise I'll get this stuff in the mail to you at some point, but make sure you do a back brace when you go to pick it up because it'll be heavy. All right, love you guys.
Shout out to Savannah, who was in the car with
Savannah.
Cindy and Sheldon.
All right, hello, Savannah. We say hello to you. Hopefully you're all driving safely then if you're in the car.
No, that was the other day.
The other day. Oh!
Cindy and Sheldon, they said their daughter was in the back.
I'm sorry. I'm not with it. I'm continuing to talk and Eric's communicating over there. So yes. Well, anyway, hello, Savannah. Thank you guys for watching. So I think I didn't hit everything. Was there any other questions though, Eric or Elizabeth or Allie or Forrest? Anybody? We need to do a new crunching the numbers too.
Yes.
Get Forrest up here. Is Forrest here? I haven't seen him yet.
No.
Oh, Kim, this is a good one. Do you mind Facebook friends requests? No, I don't mind them. I have really so I'm of the age where when Facebook first came out, I was very reluctant to get on it just because I didn't understand it. But one of my friends, her name is Joanne Cracky. She was one of the girls that I danced with for years when I was performing back in my younger days when I was a dancer. I finally was like, okay, we'll do it. So it was fantastic because we're finding all of our friends from high school because obviously our generation, it was, keep in touch with the phone number in the yearbook and you had no way really to find them years later. And that's why those reunions were so important to try to keep in touch with people. Well, anyway, so then I loved Facebook and it was a great way for me to find old friends. Then when I was performing, it was a great way to find all of our old performing friends and family and buddies to see kind of where they were, what they were doing. When I had my dance studio back in Virginia, I had a policy that I would not accept a friend request from my students until they were 18, just because I felt a responsibility to them and I wouldn't want to see something I might not want to see or whatever. So I'm like, let me just wait till they're 18 and they graduate and then I'll be their friend. But as far as now, there are so many friend requests. The majority of my Facebook thing, they're people I don't even know, which I don't super like I know you. So yes, please. Clients, 100%. I think that's fantastic. But there's a lot of times people try to network through that, which I think is great too. But it's kind of lost my original intent, which was to connect with those old friends and family.
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of the things two things. Mm-hmm. Number one, you sort of alluded to it. Some of what we get taught as realtors, what people try to feed us as information is, make Facebook friends with everybody, and then you'll know if they're getting a divorce.
Oh
and
my
you can
gosh,
reach out and get their list.
people do that.
And it's freaking gross, and we don't like that, okay? So some of it is a little, it feels icky on our end. We're like, well, yes, we would love to be your friend, but we don't want you to feel like so Amy doesn't, on her actual personal Facebook page, there's no business discussed. And on mine, there's no business discussed at all.
Right.
At Heart and Home Orlando, on every platform, at Heart and Home Orlando, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. The reason why, that's a better place to follow is just because we also don't, it's not just business on there either, though. So those pages act a little bit as personal as well. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's a better place to connect. Honestly, so we know it's not like
it's weird,
my
right?
Uncle Phil, who I talk to on Facebook once a year. It's hard to manage all that and sort of put worlds together. So I hope that makes sense. But At Heart and Home Orlando is a great place to follow because Amy shares all the personal stuff there and everything, and so you can reach her either place. But long way to say no, don't mind a Facebook friend request.
Absolutely.
It's just the internet's weird.
It's funny because when I go through and I look, and I feel bad because sometimes I'm like, I have no idea who that person is. And I look and we have no mutual friends. And then I look and I see kind of what they do. And so sometimes and there's nothing wrong with this. This is part of what people do, they network. And so it might be someone who has a business or something that could be associated, affiliated, or complementary to real estate. And I'm like, but if I don't know you, that just kind of, and then I feel bad saying no. And so sometimes I end up saying yes, and then it's weird. But for you, absolutely. And my regular Facebook page, that really, I don't even post that much anymore because of that. But that's kind of where I always do my photo dump. So whenever we have our holidays, if there's something we like to kind of share, absolutely. So I have lots of clients that are friends. I mean, like we just talked about, Jim Federico is he's my friend on Facebook, and I love it. I love seeing what they're doing as well. Marcia Emk and her family, oh my gosh, like we were friends on Facebook before they were my clients. And how much do I love seeing people enjoy this. Sue Carmody, like same thing. I love it. So yes, absolutely. That's totally fine. It's not a problem. You guys are our friends. You're our Heart and Home Orlando family. So anytime. All right. So with that, did I get everything, honey? I think I did.
There's more stuff.
There's a Zillow. Well, but you know what? It's 10:05 and let's get out of here. You guys need to move on. So thank you as always for sharing your Monday morning with us. Let me put this one off. So we have a busy week ahead of us over these next couple of weeks. Lots of things happening. Like we said, we have lots of people doing their new homeowner orientations, their final walkthroughs, their closings. For those people, send them good thoughts and good vibes. If you're one of them, definitely good thoughts and good vibes. We will do our best to take care of you here on our end. As always, guys, please stay safe and stay well. Remember, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for joining in. If you're new to us, come on back and we'll see you soon. Thank you, honey. Good stuff. All right, guys. Have a great day. Happy house hunting. Bye. All right. Where's my end button? Finish. Finish?
Sure.
Finish.